This is by far one of the craziest, most aggressive brands that I've seen in a while doing direct response meta ads the right way. My estimates is that they're doing at least $1 million a month just from their paid meta ads. So let's break it down. This is gonna be about 15 minutes. I go through everything from their paid ads funnels, their post-click sequences, and how they're scaling meta ads the right way. Let's jump into it. The brand is called Primal Queen, and by far, they're one of the best brands I've found recently that are doing everything right when it comes to paid acquisition, an amazing offer, and the most important, the money making is the meta ads. Right now, they've got over 1,100 ads live in their ad account, and let's break it down. So I've queued this breakdown, the $1 million month funnel breakdown of Primal Queen, but I would not be surprised if they're doing over $1 million a month. So let's break it down. But as you can see here, this was just taken. Their meta ads library, 1,100 ads live right now. And I just wanted to screenshot there above the fold. And then this is their Instagram. They've got like 180,000 followers. But let's quickly do their meta funnel, which is, I find super fascinating. It's very clean. So they've got their top of funnel ads. They've got bottom of funnel ads running as well. I'll jump into it shortly. But top of funnel ad to a sales page. The sales page is really, really clean. It's got, amazing characteristics of a really strong direct response offer page, or like a sales page actually talks about the key product, highlights it, says beef organ superfoods. Primal Queen is like it's a supplement with beef organs to help with hormone balance and energy and period cramps. Is like some of their ads were talking about period cramps, which is a huge market. But I love their offer page. It jumps right into their founder actually sharing her experience of why did she actually start the product. So all good aspects of an amazing offer and sales page. When you click the first call to action after reading through the sales page, it scrolls down to their offer. So it's get a monthly subscription of their products, like $44 on subscription. And then below it, they have some other, they have another offer. And then just from there, straight to checkout. So honestly, for a brand that's definitely doing over $1 million a month, the funnel is very, very clean. But I would not be surprised if this brand has been testing or A/B tested tons of different sales landing pages. This is the only one that I found in their account, but I do recall clicking and seeing some other different landing pages in the past. When I tried to build this today, it looked a little different. So this is probably their winning. I would guess this is their winning landing page. But how is this brand doing $1 million a month? Or at least how can we hypothesize this brand is doing $1 million a month? Because we know if you've got 1,100 ads running, you're definitely spending, over a few $100,000 a month in ads at least. If not, there's obviously a big problem. But we can obviously guess that they're doing some crazy, crazy numbers. So let's jump right into it. Let's talk about what's their secret sauce. Like, this brand is clearly doing amazing. They've got a great product. Their funnels look amazing, but what's their secret sauce? So I love Hermosi. Alex Hermosi always says what's the opposite of the desired outcome? So let's talk about what are they not doing? So right off the bat, something I wanted to call out, Primal Queen is absolutely crushing it, but they're not playing nice. They're going heavy into direct response marketing in order to grow aggressively, because first, when you have a brand that's trying to reach a crazy level of scale, you need to focus on performance, because if you play nice right away, the nice guy never really wins, right? But let's give an example. So just a screenshot of their top of funnel there. But let's give an example of AG1. So everybody knows AG1. And, why does AG1 play nice? Everybody thinks, their brand is so clean. It's amazing. I love it. They've got Andrew Huberman. The aesthetic is so nice and it looks cool. It obviously doesn't look like Primal Queen, right? This is very loud. There's a lot of copy everywhere. It's very, direct response. There's these check marks and everything on it. So why isn't AG1 playing nice, or why does AG1 play nice? We have to remember that AG1 makes, $1 billion a year, or like $600 million a year. So they're at a crazy level. They've become a household name, and they're actually at the point where they're maintaining their brand and they're growing into new markets through their brand, not through these crazy direct response tactics. So I wanted to give a crazy example of, let's look at AG1 before they became the household brand that we all know. So yeah, it wasn't always like this for them. This is what AG1 used to look like back in the day. So I just took this screenshot from Wayback Machine, and you could see like AG1 looks like what most brand marketers and people that are more into brand would say. This looks like an absolute scam. But you know what? We know AG1 has been doing all the right plays when it comes to growth. So we know that AG1 was doing it right in the day in order to grow, and they were doing growth over everything first. And of course, once you grow, you eventually need to pivot into more brand versus direct response. But I wanted to throw this in there before we jump into how Primal Queen is definitely making over $1 million a month. All right, so let's get to it. What's their secret sauce? How can they be running 1,100 ads right now in their ad account, and what's allowing them to scale? What is the secret sauce behind Primal Queen, other than the product, of course, because obviously the product has to be good. So let's break it down. All right. So number one, they have a really high converting post-click funnel right now. Right when you land, it educates the consumer problem. It doesn't talk about the brand. Nobody cares about the brand first. Everybody cares about themselves when you are clicking from an ad, because that means you want something, right? So they do an absolute killer job at educating the consumer problem. And first of all, it's through their brand, their founder story. So the founder talks about her pain point, this kind of problem she had in her life, and then talks about how it turned around. And then it showcases the education around the solution, their product. It talks about, hey, this is what the solution was. It's called beef organ, and it doesn't talk about selling their product. So I'll skim right through this, and we'll jump into the crazy part of how we think they're actually getting to $1 million, over $1 million plus a month. And first off, they're not selling their product. First, they're educating the market. So we know it's catering to a broader audience. Everybody, as you get through the funnel, you know what the problem is, the consumer problem is. It gives the education around the actual solution. Then it talks about their product benefits and features. So, their unique mechanism is their ingredients and the actual form factor. So, their actual formula, it's beef organ and like beef uterus and all these beef liver and all these crazy mixes. And it talks about the benefits, then it talks about the features. So, if it's like improving your energy daily, it talks about here's how our product has a crazy amount of iron through beef organ, and kind of so on and so forth. And something I loved about their offer page is it showcases the desired outcome of their product. So not only does it say, hey, here's the product, it's amazing and it solves these problems, they literally have a section called what should I expect from consistent use of Primal Queen? And it obviously tells you, if you get this, you will get this. If you get our product, this is what to expect. So very, very simple, yet a lot of brands actually miss something like this on their sales pages, which is crazy. Follows up with crazy amount of social proof on steroids, compares it to competitors, and then it gets into the core offer where it's like, here's our offer, here's what you get, and here's the monthly subscription. All right, so that's their post-click funnel, but how are they getting the actual, what's the magic sauce behind Primal Queen? So just based off of my kind of breakdown of this brand, it's definitely from their creative done right. So that's their magic sauce. And quick breakdown here, they understand awareness targeting. So let's quickly jump into this. Most of you probably already know what this is, yet when you actually go back and look at the creatives that you're putting together, it's a little bit all over the place. I've seen it so many times, and I speak with brand owners almost every single week, and at least 1 to 2 of these brand owners have no idea what creative is for what type of group. So quick recap, unaware, people who are completely oblivious to your product, people who are completely oblivious to the problem and their actual personal desire to solve it. Problem aware. These people they understand there's a problem and they're frustrated with the problem, but they're unaware that an actual solution like your product exists. Solution aware are people that are actively seeking the information and exploring solutions to the pain points that they have. Product aware, they understand your product, they know it's a solution, but they need to learn more in order to obviously buy. And then the bottom of funnel is people who completely understand the features and benefits and are ready to buy. Alrighty, so what does it look like when it comes to paid ads? How does this convert to paid ads? And will understanding these groups help me scale? Fuck yes. Absolutely yes. If you understand how to convert these awareness buckets into paid ads, you are absolutely crushing it, and you'll be getting 1,000 ads in your account in literally no time. All right, quick recap over here. Unaware is going to be the biggest audience. Problemware, the second largest audience. This is where most brands that are doing direct response marketing pretty good. And of course, the crazy ones are doing unaware marketing. But problem aware, solution aware, and as we get closer to the most aware, the actual audience shrinks, because most aware would be people know about your brand. Then on the opposite, people who are unaware. They don't know your brand. They don't know your product. They don't even know how they have a problem. All right, this is how Primal Queen is crushing the full awareness coverage with their paid ad funnels. AKA, I like to call it the making money scaling section of this breakdown. So I just broke it down here. So we have most aware. They've got a bunch of ads that are product focused here. They're talking about a huge sale, a little bit of their kind of pain point, and then into an offer. So you get 4 free gifts and a 365 money back guarantee, which is crazy. So you take it for a full year. If you don't see the change, they'll give you your money back. So removing all the risk from the offer. And honestly, an amazing amount of creative diversity here. There's clean brand images. Looks like they're running a Memorial Day sale, which is pretty early, but they're doing it, which is awesome. They have some UGC, and then they have straight up huge offer. So you get a free gift offer. And then they also have a little bit of a founder story here talking about their product more in depthly. As we jump into the product aware, they have a crazy amount of ads that look like they can come from a million different people. So you have your TikTok style talking about ladies who are considering it, so removing any purchase, buyer decision questions from the ads. They have some podcast style where there's a little bit of a debate. So this is answering common misconceptions about the product and like the solution. We have this lady who's super hyped up about the actual product. She just got it, and they have, she's talking about their sale and you should get it too. So it's like recommendation. And then here is kind of like the story behind Primal Queen, and it gives you a little offer, which is honestly amazing. All right. And then let's talk about the solution aware. So people know, so the difference here is like people know about the actual product. They know about Primal Queen. And then here we have, people that actually know about the actual solution. So they know beef organ works. They know beef uterus is going to help them regulate their hormones and everything like that. So let's jump into some of these concepts. We have this girl getting ready with her, and she's talking about like the mistakes girls make when their hormones are unbalanced. And it's honestly, it's a great, user-friendly ad, because it's removing everything from the actual sale. It's saying, hey, this is the problem most girls have, and this is the solution. And then they talk about the actual product. Same here. We have a gynecologist here reminding women to increase their sex drive with hormone balance. So on one side, we have someone talking about their hormone balance and the mistake. The second side here, we have a gynecologist talking about if you want to increase your sex drive, in order to do that, you need to actually balance your hormones so you can feel better about yourself and all the hormones work in the right ways. And then below here, we have an amazing transformation. So this girl's showing how she took the beef organ supplement to lose weight, and now she lives her best self. She's feeling her best self, and she talks about the product and how it changed her life. And honestly, it's honestly life-changing. And even if you just, at this point here, look at all of these ads, I guess right here is the only one with the first frame is actually showing the product, but most of these are just storytelling. And this ad here, it's a solution aware, and it's literally only the first half of the ad is just about if you want to balance your hormones, beef organs, the maybe the hidden thing that you're missing in your diet to help regulate it, and here's why. So it's crazy. But let's jump over here to the problem aware ads. Now, these ads are, in my experience of doing direct response for the last, almost 10 years, this is where the most scale happens. So the problem aware. So what they do in most of these ads, let's break them down one by one. This first ad is just talking about, if you think about it, how do you feel and look so good after having a baby? So this is targeting mothers. Maybe they don't feel amazing, but this video, it actually talks about a crazy transformation of, how she was before getting pregnant versus after, and the problems and how she overcame it. And then, deeper into the ad, like 60% through, she talks about, here's how Primal Queen really helped me. And it's honestly crazy because it's actually very emotional, even just like, I'm not the target customer, obviously, but when you watch it, they touch on the emotion. And we know Primal Queen is doing definitely well over $1 million a month because they get it that you need to touch and you need to create an emotional connection with your target customer in order to get them to click, let alone buy. So that's how we know they're absolutely crushing it. This other ad here, this is such a great viral hook saying, would you ever eat this? It looks like steak, but it's not. It looks like kind of slimy. So it's a great visual hook. Halfway through educating through the ad, they jump in and they talk about the actual product, Primal Queen, how it helps regulate hormones, lose weight, increase sex drive, increase the energy every day. Another transformation here. These two videos are absolutely killers. Like this first one says, what it feels like as a woman to finally lose that hormonal belly fat. Crazy. So we know a crazy amount of women face this issue by starting with it. And again, the format being this user generated, it's not pretty, it's very direct response, it's not salesy, it educates and hits that emotional connection. We know this is an absolute killer ad. I also pulled these from Foreplay and they've got, over 100 days of each of these ads running. So we know they're absolutely crushing it. But last ad here in the problem aware, this ad starts with, I hit a point where I felt hopeless and it was scary. So that hook alone, it literally could cater to anybody in the world. But as you watch further, you start to understand and more people will drop off who are not qualified. And if all the copy and the visuals are right, this is an absolute killer ad that can scale to the absolute moon. But last ad, I only could find, one appointment here, but essentially this is about like a 1.5-minute ad. And for more than half of the ad, it just talks about why Big Pharma is terrified of people eating beef organs. And it's kind of like a conspiracy style ad, but it literally could cater to anybody because it's so educational and it's kind of weird and people consume this type of content. I'm guessing that Primal Queen has done a ton of audience research and they put a lot of research behind each concept they put out. But this, in a nutshell, it seems a little too simple, but it's really, really difficult to execute for most brands that I speak to. Building this funnel from unaware all the way to most aware is how your brand is going to scale to past $1 million a month, because understanding how to cater to the problem aware and unaware audience is going to allow you to reach the most amount of people that are in your target audience and total addressable market in order to scale past 100K a month to hopefully 1 million and plus per month. But all of these ads, again, all of these ads were written and designed to target one of these groups. The further they go away from the most aware, the more scale the brand will have. All right, so you're probably wondering, how do I do this for my brand? Very simply, it all starts with hooks and angles. Assuming you have an amazing product, obviously, it's vetted, you have product market fit, you're already spending money on ads and you know it works, and you have an amazing funnel, just like the Primal Queen funnel we just talked about and we showed examples of. But it all starts with hooks and ad angles. That is where you should be spending 99% of your time after you have a killer product and funnel. So one quick call out here. Notice how all the ad examples look different and had different hooks and concepts. One was like a super UGC ad. One was a green screen. One was a girl crying in front of the camera. One was like a transformation. So different hooks and different concepts are going to resonate to different pockets of your audience. So, going back to the the problem aware audience, maybe some women are going to resonate with a very basic still image, like a feature point out. But most women are going to connect the most with stories in the formats that they already consume content. And this is by far the absolute key to scale. I can literally guarantee it. Through research and understanding your target, your ideal customer profile, ads like these will literally write themselves. So, for example, going through Reddit, going through your competitors, understanding where to look and where your customers are. Once you start to read what they're saying on Reddit, YouTube, Instagram comments, their celebrities that they follow, you will find insights for ads and hooks that will literally write themselves. All right. So again, I can guarantee if you follow these steps, you will be able to take your brand to heights towards $1 million months. And you probably will not think it's possible until you get that one winning ad. All right. So this is what I want to do for you. So if you have a brand and you're doing at least 50, 60K a month in ad spend, and you have product market fit, you have an amazing landing page, and you know your offer works, you just need the right creative. I'll get my team of 8-figure copywriters to do research, conceptualize ads, write winning ads and hooks, and write winning ad angles for you, all for absolutely free. All you have to do is send me an email right here, Yusuf at Algorithm Growth, and send me your URL and the product you want ads for. And within 7 days, I'll send you a list of over 30 ad hooks and angles that are researched and guaranteed to help your brand go to the next level.